Hello, welcome to a newbie guide to REITs analysis, and in this chapter we will understand perps. So what are perps? It's best to look at it from a capital structure point of view and understand where it lies. So on top of the capital structure will be secured debt, and after that will be unsecured debt, and at the very bottom will be common shares, and just above it will be preferred shares. So perps, along with other kind of mezzanine structures like CoCos and stuff, and maybe also convertible bonds, will lie in this mezzanine layer, and that's perps. So how do you think of perps actually? In Singapore's accounting sense, perps are treated as a equity, but personally, I think it should be treated as a hybrid instrument, so preferably to be priced 50-50. So think of it as 50% of debt, and the other 50% will be equity. That might be a bit better for the conservative investor. And if you're truly conservative, just treat it as 100% debt, and things will be a lot easier. So let's take a graphical understanding of perps and draw a line, a simple line. So you have the issue date where the perp is issued, and on the issue date there will be an initial coupon. There's no maturity for the perp, so theoretically the maturity date is forever. There's no obligation for the issuer to ever redeem the perp. But typically you have a first call date, and therefore on the first call date, typically 5 years away from the issue date, the issuer will have the option, the choice of whether to reset the coupon, or if he does not want to reset the coupon and let the perp live, then the issuer will have to redeem the perp and repay the perp holders the capital at 100% at par. So let us take a real life example of a perp that was issued, and let's take the example of an Escort Residence Trust issue of a perp in 2015 in June. So you can see that this stuff had an initial coupon rate of 4.68%, and back then the first call date was on June 2020, so that's 5 years away from 2015. And indeed, in 2020, interest rates collapsed big time because of COVID, and therefore the issuer chose to reset the coupon to a very much lower level to 3.07%, and this was based on the formula of 5-year SOR plus a fixed spread of 2.5%. And back then, because interest rates just about collapsed, therefore the SOR was very low, just less than 1%, and therefore they managed to actually lock in the coupon rate for the next 5 years at 3.07%. And the next call date would then be 5 years away from 2020, that's in June 2025, and it remains to be seen where the interest rates will be in 2025 and whether the issuer will choose to again reset the coupon or to call the perp and therefore pay back the bond holders, perp holders, the principal. So you can see that the issuer in issuing these perps has the optionality of redeeming or to reset, and therefore choose to take the best of both worlds. So if interest rates are high, then they call the perp, and if interest rates are low, then you just reset the perp and carry on and having more equity at a much lower price. So the pricing of perps is interesting. It is not really rocket science, and it's always a bit difficult. But in general, if the people think that the issuer is gonna redeem the perp at the first call date, then people will just treat this as a 5-year bond and price it accordingly. And people just price it as a yield to call. So if the issuer is gonna recall or deem to recall the perp, then people price it as a 5-year bond. But as time goes on, and if people start having doubts over the intentions of the issuer, then all hell breaks loose, and there's a big repricing suddenly of the perp, and people start repricing whether or not this stuff is going to live on forever, or whether it's going to be again reset, and then after that it'll be another 5-year perp, 5-year bond to be repriced again. So the pricing of this stuff in general behaves much like a 5-year bond in initial period, but around this first call period, uncertainty starts to emerge, and then the pricing of this stuff becomes really strange. So just a short introduction to perps.